Hello and welcome to the Spirit Safe. My name's Rob. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. What do we have this time? I think I said at the end of the last video it might be something from Islay, it might be something from the Highlands, but certainly a Scotch single malt. But then I thought, well, it's been a while since we had a Japanese whiskey, and I've had this one on the shelf for quite a while. So how about this? The Nikka Pure Malt Black. From Japan. It's a blended malt from Nikka. The only other Nikka that I've had a couple of Japanese whiskies on the channel. The only other Nikka I've had on the channel was the Nikka from the barrel, which I was very disappointed with. My bottle had a very unpleasant tinge of hairspray. But judging from some of the comments that I got on the video, I think possibly I got a bad batch. So I think maybe in a year or so I might go back to that one. One thing that the Japanese always do very well is the packaging. This box, origami type thing, it's got a little fold here which is supposed to be like the kimono, traditional Japanese kimono. Inside, it's got a black styled inside of the box. There's just no detail that goes on because this is the Nikka Black. If you bought the red or the white, which is also in the range, it would be either red or white inside. The bottle itself, 50cl bottle, nice dumpy thing, and it's looks like something from a chemistry lab or a pharmacy, which is really very, very attractive. A real cork on a Japanese whiskey. They're quite a fan of the screw cap in the Japanese whiskey world, but this is a real cork encapsulated entirely in plastic. Crazy Japanese. I don't know. So we've had a couple of Japanese whiskies on the channel. This is the second one from Nikka, part of the range of pure malts. They have the white, which is heavy in peat. They have the red, which is heavy in sherry, and they have the black, which is in the middle. And the advice I was given was to go for the black. I bought this over a year ago. The current selling price is 75 Canadian dollars, which is quite a lot for a 50cl bottle, really. But Japanese whiskey, it's not cheap. So it's a blend of whiskey from the Miyagi-Kyo and Yoichi distilleries. They've got a very nice diagram on the Nikka website that shows you what the blends are, or the products are that they have, and which distilleries it's come from. So it's bottled at 43%. I don't know about chill filtration or colouring. This bottle was, I think, it was bottled for La Maison du Whisky in France. So, I mean, I assume that that's for the European market primarily, and there's nothing on the bottle in German to indicate that it has colouring in it. So it might be natural colour, which would be slightly unusual. Okay. Very, very nice on the nose. You get a robust, oily, very buttery, salted butter malt, and a very good dollop of peat, which is earthy and phenolic at the same time. A decent whack of sorry, I just realised how red my face is in this video. It's very, very hot at the moment. I promise I've not had like 15 whiskies and all the blood's gone to my head. But yeah, it's a buttery, salted butter malt, very oily, bit of red wine, quite a bit of sherry. A nice toasty oak with lots of vanilla. And the peat signature, kind of like a Kalila. It's got a little bit of phenol, but an earthy quality to it. Might be nearer a Port Charlotte. There's something oddly vegetal as well, like privet hedge kind of vegetal in the background, which is, you know, quite nice. And after this had been open for a while, or left to breathe for a while, I did get a kind of malted fruit loaf, like a malted biscuit, the kind of thing that you get in when you're on holiday in Europe, and you're like, what's this? I did get some Epsom salts as well on the nose. Rich, buttery. Oh, quite spicy. I got a good whack of cinnamon and then the mulled wine spices. Slightly drying on the tongue. There is an alcohol note. There's some young whiskey in here, but doesn't matter. It comes together really, really nicely. Malted tea loaf on the finish as well. I'm going to give this a drop of water. That's about half a teaspoon now. Immediately much more fruity on the nose. I'm starting to get apricots on the nose. Dried apricot. Olive oil as well. Peat has subsided a bit after a drop of water, but it's still there. Drop of water has allowed the peat, it allowed the sherry to come out in the initial attack, and then just lengthens the finish. It's peat and banana bread on the finish. Altogether, a very nice thing. If you're looking to pick up a Japanese whiskey, based on my experience, I would pick this one ahead of the Nikka from the barrel, because I had a bad experience with that one. Maybe I'm being unfair, but this is certainly a good way to go. I think it's an interesting whiskey for not an extortionate price. So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I would wholeheartedly recommend it. It's probably one of the ones that one of the few Japanese whiskies that I would wholeheartedly recommend at the moment. Unfortunately, I think the scales have tipped from Japanese whiskey being this great, wonderful thing, and have you heard of it? And yeah, it's really interesting, and they can make really good whiskey, through to are there any that are reasonably priced still? This shows us, I think, that there are still one or two. So I've enjoyed it. It gets my vote, and yeah, try it. Oh, a bit of citrus starting to develop. Very nice indeed. Okay, I shall have to run because it's getting late. But cheers, everybody, and we'll see one another again. Bye bye.